Terrorism in Kashmir, once again. On the evening of April 22nd, terror struck Kashmir once again. In the scenic Baisaran Valley near Pahalgam, often called Mini Switzerland, a group of armed terrorists opened fire on tourists. Eyewitnesses say the attackers, estimated to be 2 or 3 in number, entered the area armed and began identifying non-Muslim tourists before opening fire.
मेरा पति साइड में था, एक इंसान आया, उसने उसको गोली मार दी।
यहाँ पे
उसने बोला कि ये शायद मुस्लिम नहीं है, उसने उसको गोली मार दी।
नहीं आप टेंशन मत लो, अब बेटा आप यहाँ पे रहो, हम साथ में।
At least 26 people were killed, including 25 Indian nationals and 1 Nepalese citizen, in what is being called one of the most brutal targeted killings in recent years.
उन्हें आवाज दिए कि फायरिंग हो रही है और चलते जाइए। बस ऐसे दौड़ा, आगे दौड़ते जा रहे थे हम लोग और पीछे से लोग आ रहे थे, हमको धक्के दे रहे थे, हम लोगों के पैरों में भी आ गए। फिर उन्होंने मुझे उठाए, बच्चे को, मेरा बेटा भी है, वो पीछे था, उनको निकाले। हम पीछे ध्यान ही नहीं दे रहे थे क्योंकि हमको आगे की सोचना था।
कितने टूरिस्ट वहाँ पे थे?
4-5 हजार होंगे।
4-5 हजार
बच्चे भी थे छोटे-छोटे।
This wasn't just an attack on innocent lives. It was an attack on the very idea of peace in Kashmir. And it came at a time when the valley was witnessing a resurgence in tourism. In 2024, more than 3.5 million tourists visited Kashmir, including over 43,000 international travelers, a record-breaking number. Pahalgam alone saw hundreds of thousands of visitors. Tourism, which contributes over 7% to the local GDP, had been a sign of hope and revival. But in moments, that hope began to fade away. A previously lesser-known group, the Resistance Front, believed to be backed by the Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba, claimed responsibility for this attack. Their agenda? To derail the growing peace and prosperity in Kashmir, especially post-abrogation of Article 370. The Indian government acted swiftly. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was on a diplomatic visit to Saudi Arabia at the time, cut his trip short, skipping an official state dinner hosted by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. He flew back to New Delhi immediately, and in a public statement, PM Modi stated, "Those behind this heinous attack will be brought to justice. They will not be spared. Their evil agenda will never succeed. Our resolve to fight terrorism is unshakable, and it will only grow stronger." He also offered his condolences to the victims' families and ensured a full-scale response on both security and diplomatic fronts. Home Minister Amit Shah landed in Pahalgam within hours. On site, he promised the harshest consequences for the perpetrators and coordinated the investigation with army and intelligence officials. He also met survivors at hospitals, assured compensation packages for the victims' families, and chaired a high-level security review meeting in Srinagar. As the chaos unfolded, it was the Indian Army and local security forces who were first on the ground, evacuating wounded tourists, guiding civilians to safety, and setting up immediate medical relief. Despite risking their own lives, they carried out their duty with courage and urgency. Shockingly, amidst these rescue operations, Pakistan attempted to shift the blame onto India. In an official press statement, Pakistani officials accused the Indian army and government of orchestrating the attack, a claim widely dismissed as baseless propaganda, especially given the Indian Army's role in saving dozens of lives in the valley that evening. Meanwhile, tensions at the border flared up. Just hours after the Pahalgam attack, Pakistani forces opened fire at multiple sectors along the line of control, including in Rajouri and Poonch. The Indian Army mounted a fierce counterattack, providing a swift response to Pakistan's provocative actions, ensuring no casualties were sustained. These ceasefire violations, the first major breaches since the 2021 agreement, have heightened fears of a larger military conflict. India has also implemented 5 major countermeasures against Pakistan in response to the Pahalgam attack. Number 1. Suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty. For the first time since its signing in 1960, India has suspended the Indus Waters Treaty, marking a massive shift in Indo-Pak water diplomacy. Additionally, India announced the closure of the Salal Dam in Jammu and Kashmir, halting water flow into Pakistan-administered territories. Number 2. Closure of the Attari border. The Attari border crossing, the main land gateway between the two countries, has been sealed indefinitely. Number 3. Visa cancellations for Pakistani nationals. All Pakistani nationals in India were asked to leave the country within 48 hours of the attack. No new visas will be issued. Number 4. Expulsion of the Pakistani military staff. Pakistani military defense representatives in New Delhi have been expelled, declared persona non grata by India. Number 5. Recall of Indian defense personnel from Pakistan. India has also recalled its own military diplomats stationed in Islamabad, effectively freezing defense engagement. Pakistan's copycat response. In retaliation, Pakistan issued a nearly identical set of countermeasures against India, many viewed as a diplomatic mimicry aimed at escalating tensions further. Wagah border closed. Visas suspended under SAARC. Indian diplomats expelled. Indian military advisors declared persona non grata. Reduction in Indian High Commission staff. Airspace closed to all Indian airlines. All trade halted. Adding to the well-known suspicions surrounding Pakistan's intentions, Pakistan's Army Chief, General Asim Munir, on April 20th, 2025, delivered a fiery and provocative speech aggressively reaffirming claims over Kashmir. He referred to Kashmir as the jugular vein of Pakistan and asserted that no power can separate Kashmir from Pakistan, declaring further that no force can stop Pakistan's pursuit of the region, a statement that has only further validated concerns about Islamabad's role in fueling instability.
Government's stance on Kashmir is absolutely clear. It was our jugular vein. It is our jugular vein. We will not forget it. And we will not leave our Kashmiri brethren in their heroic struggle, what they are waging against the Indian occupation.
Behind the scenes, Pakistan appears to be preparing for something bigger. Satellite imagery and intelligence reports suggest that Pakistan is ramping up its fuel imports, stockpiling diesel, aviation fuel, and crude oil at unprecedented levels. Its Navy, Air Force, and Army have quietly begun conducting joint combat exercises, including nighttime air drills and naval fleet mobilizations along the Arabian Sea. Sources also reveal that the rapid training of new infantry units along the border, a sign that Pakistan may be bracing for a possible escalation. International response from world leaders. The Pahalgam terror attack triggered a wave of condemnation from across the world, a sign that the international community recognizes the grave threat posed by such targeted violence. The United States of America. President Donald Trump, currently serving his second term, strongly condemned the attack, stating, "Deeply disturbing news out of Kashmir. The United States stands strong with India against terrorism. We pray for the souls of those lost and for the recovery of the injured." U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance echoed the president's sentiments and reaffirmed America's commitment to working with India on counterterrorism measures.
I want to just, of course, issue our condolences to the people of Kashmir who were affected by this terrible terrorist attack. We're providing whatever assistance and help we can provide to the government, to the people of India.
Russia. President Putin issued an official statement addressed to both President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying, "Kindly accept the sincere condolences over the tragic consequences of the terrorist attack in Pahalgam, whose victims were civilians, citizens of various countries. This brutal crime has no justification whatsoever." Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu offered his condolences over a direct phone call to Prime Minister Modi. He stated, "Israel stands with India in its relentless fight against terrorism. We mourn the lives lost and condemn this attack in the strongest possible terms." France. President Emmanuel Macron offered condolences and emphasized unwavering support for India's sovereignty and security. Japan. Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba condemned the attack and extended full diplomatic solidarity. Italy. Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni expressed deep sorrow and support for India's anti-terror operations. Jordan. King Abdullah II personally called Prime Minister Modi to convey condolences and emphasized interfaith harmony. Egypt. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi joined in condemning the attack and offered cooperation on regional anti-terrorism strategies. The United Nations. The United Nations issued this statement.
We were very clear in our condemnation of the terror attack that occurred in Jammu and Kashmir on the 22nd, 2 days ago, which killed a large number of civilians. But we very much appeal to both the governments of Pakistan and the government of India to exercise maximum restraint and to ensure that the situation and the developments we've seen do not deteriorate any further. Any issues between Pakistan and India, we believe can be and should be resolved peacefully through meaningful mutual engagement.
Meanwhile, back in Jammu and Kashmir, thousands of tourists have begun to exit the region. Hotels are shutting doors. Local businesses, many already reeling from past instability, are now staring into another abyss. But for the families of the victims, the loss is personal, final, irreplaceable. This attack was meant to send a message of fear, but India's response has sent one back, of resolve. Kashmir's future may be uncertain, but its people and their fight for peace remain unbroken. Thank you for standing with us through this story. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to support us. Together, let's make sure the truth is louder than the fear.